Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Headlines In. Let us look at some of the important news headlines for October 9th. Let's start with the global news. American poet Louis Gluck awarded 2020 Nobel Literature Prize. The Swedish Academy on Thursday crowned the 2020 Nobel Literature Prize to Louis Gluck for an unmistakable poetic voice that with austere beauty makes individual existence universal. China furious with global outcry over Xinjiang and Hong Kong. In the declaration drafted by Germany and presented at the UN General Assembly in New York on Tuesday, 39 predominantly Western countries denounced China for gross human rights violations in the Western Chinese province of Xinjiang and the autonomous region of Tibet and for limiting political and personal freedoms in Hong Kong. China's ambassador to the UN, Zhang Jun, responded with an irate statement saying the accusations were groundless and that his country opposes interference in internal affairs. In separate statements, Pakistan and Cuba voiced their support for Beijing's position, as did a group of mainly African and Arab countries, Russia and Venezuela. Next news. Indonesia. Thousands protest against labor reforms. Thousands of people took part in protests and strikes across Indonesia for a third straight day on Thursday in a call for the government to repeal its controversial omnibus reform which was enacted on Monday. At least 600 people have been arrested in clashes with the police. Protesters said the new law undermines job security as well as environmental regulations. You can look at the link below in the description to know in detail about the omnibus reform. Fourth news. Amid anti-Netanyahu protests, Israel extends ban that limits public protests. The Israeli government has extended an emergency provision that bars public gatherings, including widespread protests against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, for an additional week. Thousands of Israelis have participated in weekly demonstrations outside Netanyahu's official residence in Jerusalem for months this summer, calling on the long-time Prime Minister to resign while on trial for corruption. Last news for the category. North Korea likely to unveil weapons at weekend military parade, says South Korea. Ahead of the 75th founding anniversary of his ruling party this weekend, speculation has risen that Kim may hold a massive military parade and unveil newly developed powerful missiles. The goal, experts say, would be to bolster internal unity and draw US attention amid deadlocked nuclear diplomacy between the countries. Now, on to the next category, which is the Indian news. World Bank sees sharper cut in India FY21 fiscal year 21 GDP estimates 9.2% fall versus 3.2%. India's economy contracted a record 23.9% in the June quarter, underlining the extent of economic damage brought about by the pandemic and the ensuing lockdown. Many forecasters now expect India's GDP to contract in double digits in fiscal year 21. Next, transition to renewable energy helps India see 6% dip in SO2 emissions. India, however, has continued to occupy the top spot in the world in SO2 emissions for the fifth consecutive year. Efforts to contain stubble burning in Haryana and Punjab are yet to bear fruit. Third, green energy developers steer clear of China funding links. Indian green energy promoters have told deal advisors to ensure there's no China connection to inbound funds, according to several developers currently raising funds. Given the long duration involved in closing such deals, promoters say they are trying to avoid a situation where they discover a China connection later, which could set back the whole exercise. Next, Kolkata East-West Metro Corridor gets cabinet nod. The Union Minister on the Union Cabinet on Wednesday, sorry for the error, approved the Rail Ministry's proposal for a revised cost estimate for the construction of the Kolkata East-West Metro Corridor project at rupees 8,575 crore. The project is expected to ease congestion, improve the urban connectivity, and offer cleaner mobility solution for daily commuters in Kolkata. India-US 2+2 dialogue expected to take place in Delhi on 26th 27th October. The third edition of the 2+2 dialogue between India and the US is expected to take place on October 26 and 27, here during which both sides are likely to carry out a comprehensive review of the strategic cooperation. People familiar with the development said on Thursday. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Defense Secretary Mark Esper are scheduled to visit India for the dialogue, they said. On to the last category, company news. Zydus Cadila launches new product for COPD patients in India. COPD is the third leading cause of death worldwide, and in India, an estimated 55.3 million patients suffer from COPD. Drug firm Zydus Cadila on Thursday said it is launching pressurized metered dose inhaler for patients suffering from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease (COPD) in India. On to the second news. Infosys to acquire US-based Blue Acorn ICI for up to $125 million. Blue Acorn ICI, an Adobe Platinum partner, is expected to bring to Infosys cross-technology capabilities through the convergence of customer experience, digital commerce, analytics, and experience-driven commerce services. Third news. Oil India begins exploration for oil and gas in Andaman Sea. Oil India Limited, the nation's second biggest state-owned oil producer, on Thursday said it has started exploring for oil and gas in the Andaman Sea. Oil said it has begun acquiring seismic data on the shallow water blocks AN OSHP 2018/1 and AN OSHP 2018/2, which the company had won in the third round of open acreage licensing policy. The results of the seismic survey would help the firm decide on drilling of wells on the block that could yield oil and gas. Amazon approaches Singapore Arbitration Center over future Reliance deal. Amazon Inc. has approached the Singapore International Arbitration Center SIAC, claiming that Future Group has violated the contract under which the US-based e-commerce major took a stake in its subsidiary and is asking for the deal with Reliance Industries Limited to buy the Indian firm's retail assets to be halted. Amazon claims that a clause in the contract between Future Group and Amazon clearly stated that Future Group could not sell any asset within 10 years of the deal with Amazon. Last news for the day. Delivery app Instacart raises $200 million at $17.7 billion valuation. Delivery startup Instacart on Thursday said it raised $200 million in its latest round, valuing the company at $17.7 billion as it cashes in on a surge in online shopping due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In June, Instacart raised $225 million and the company was valued at $13.8 billion in that round. This latest round is led by existing investors Valiant Peregrine Fund and D1 Capital. That is all for the news for 9th of October. Please like, share and subscribe my video. Thank you for watching. And there's also the link to my Instagram page on the description. You can check out my Instagram page for daily updates. Thank you.